Charles has been qualified for 22 years to coach hundreds to get off diabetic medications and optimize their weight. If you listen to Charles, you will know how and you will know where to go to transform the happiness of almost everybody you know who has health problems.
Wow!
And Charles will show us that simple changes in particular to lifestyle can increase your life by 15 years or more.
Wow!
So you must listen closely to this caring and amazing educator who has taught on 5 continents.
Wow!
Now we invite Charles to speak on optimizing our health.
Everyone in this room wants exactly the same thing. Everyone wants to be happier, healthier, and wealthier.
Yes.
So let's test this. Please raise your hand if you want less money. Raise your hand if you want to be angry all the time. You see, everyone wants the same thing. Being healthier. Yes, yes, yes. Turn on the power might be a good idea. So, getting rid of health problems, a person can then be happier, and once they're happier, they can then be more easily become wealthier. So if you're missing one leg of the stool, it won't stand up. So in the same way, you need your physical health, your mental health, and your financial health. Okay, so we're here today to learn about some solutions to solve Asia's health problems. We've heard about Kangen water, on to the next thing. I've been a qualified naturopath for more than 20 years. Naturopath is a word that many people in Singapore don't know. But I know what people need to do to create a health transformation in their individual lives. I've had a very adventurous life. You heard I've been teaching and working on 5 continents. I've worked in Africa, etc., etc. I've cycled 2,000 kilometers through Turkey. I've ridden around Scotland and Ireland. I've ridden around Bintan. And I've kayaked up to Wales. I've been down grade 4 rapids. Lots of experience. I even married a Singaporean. That's really 3 daughters. Okay.
Wow.
So, what we want to point out here is that even more adventurous than that, all those things I talked about, is what lies ahead in my life. This is the adventure. And this is having a colossal, an enormous beneficial impact on health for hundreds of people, millions of people in Asia. Anyone who would like to encourage me to do that, could you all say, yeah, baby, yeah?
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Thank you very much. Now, I know for certain that type 2 diabetes is definitely going to be put into remission. It's totally incontrovertible. Now, the most exciting news you'll ever hear is coming now. Would you like to hear the exciting news?
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Yes, baby, yes! Stop doing that, it takes too much time. And so, thank you for the humor there. So, the largest website in the world for diabetes is called diabetes.co.uk. In 2017, they did a trial with 7,000 diabetics, and they gave them low carbohydrate food for nearly 2 years. At the end of those 2 years, all the results came in, and they had 69% of the people were off medication, 90% were optimized in weight. It was amazing results. And what's most exciting about this is that the National Health Service saved £6.9 million just on those 7,000 people. So now they've launched it in February 2019 for all the doctors in the whole of England, whole of Britain. So 56 million people being helped with low carbohydrate eating. So very exciting. So 6.9 million sterling saved just by 7,000 people. Now, what you have to understand is that diabetes and all the chronic illnesses are going to absolutely destroy the economies of the poorer countries of the world in the future as everyone gets older. So, I want you to think about this. How important is it that millions of people know what I know about getting rid of diabetes and obesity? Everyone agree it's important?
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
baby, yes.
So, would you be interested? The way you can make this happen, first step is important, is to think, if I know 3 people who can listen to Charles, he can teach us how to do it. So you might be working in a company that's got 3 employees. I can come and do a free talk at lunchtime. Whatever it is, there are lots of opportunities to find times. Everyone wants to find times when they can help. Now, we don't want to destroy the economies of the world with all this chronic illness getting worse and worse and worse. And I want you to think for a moment how sad it will be if everyone is sick. Can you all put your knuckles in the air like this? Knuckles in the air, please. Do what you're told. And then I want you to pretend you're crying. So this is to remind you to be very active. And how do you be active? You look around and you find people for me to go and talk to. I've spoken to 2,000 people. I can speak to 3 and tell them what they can do to change the world. Because in 2 years' time, the Singapore Medical Council will be looking through their binoculars and they'll see that England has almost removed diabetes from the country. And they'll say, wow! And then they'll start doing it because they saw it happening in England. Who knows what the future holds. But basically, how do people do it? They eat 6 small meals a day, they go into mild fat burn, and the results are amazing with low carbohydrate. And the good news is that this can be done for people on the planet. It's cost neutral. It doesn't cost any money. In Singapore, you know, these meals are only $5. That's what you pay in the Hawker Centre. I paid $3.20 recently for a cup of Milo in McDonald's. Empty nutrition, empty nutrition. So, I think oh yes, one last page here. My client that I was working with last week, she's been working with me for 3 weeks. She's already off, she has 15 less units of insulin as a diabetic every day. And she's getting sugar readings of 4.8. She's never had that reading over the last 10 years of being a diabetic. So it's very important that you realize how powerful what we can do is. So I'd like you to look at this. This is the number. And all you've got to do is to get in touch with me on WhatsApp. Immediately will be good. And then I will arrange with you to come and do talks for all the people you know in Singapore. Thank you very much.
We invite Casey to present the timer's report.
Allocate time is 7 minutes. He used 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wow.
Charles, thank you for a very inspiring talk about the data, especially from England, and how much it's been saving the NHS at 7 million household versus 7,000 people. That's great news. I think for you, I would say that maybe a couple of areas that you could improve. I mean, one bit was when you were saying, you all know that low carbohydrate or something something to the effect of, that this will help you to become healthier. And actually, you didn't pause and wait for the audience to reply. You kind of just wait, and I thought you lose a bit of the effect there. Yeah. And the other thing was, actually, I think you know your materials very well, and you could actually engage the audience much better without referring to your script, because it need not be exactly word for word, and you've been doing it for 20 years. I think you probably will come even better and more genuine if you don't have a script in front. That's how I feel.
Very good advice.
Thank you very much.
Okay, but Charles, I don't need to validate your PowerPoint. One, you got the best vocal variety tonight. Give a round of applause. Body language, excellent. And you keep on engaging the audience throughout the speech. That's the best point in delivery.
Yes.
As Dr. Kira said, do not use notes. That takes the eye contact with people. Why do you need to use notes? You're familiar.
I was trying to match with the slides. I wasn't quite sure of the timing.
Don't worry about timing. If you overtime, you won't go to jail, right?
Right.
So that part, you don't use notes, is perfectly done. The points I like about is, the part that you were doing the research done. Now research got to be put in black and white, because we want to know the source and all that, put in black and white so that we know exactly credible is the credible way of doing, right? On the way, you call for action, very informative, and also you persuade us to call your number. Again, how long will each session take? You say call me, I'll give you advice, right? But how long do they have to spend? 1 hour, half an hour? Okay, you give me 30 minutes of time, I will speak to you, right? And is that speaking free or for coffee?
Not
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you charging or not charging?
I'm talking about giving free talks to groups. But normally I offer people 15-minute health conversation for free.
So for groups, so who do you recommend that which group, where do we get the groups? Like which group of people?
I obviously didn't speak very clearly on that. My idea was to encourage everybody to look around at work and find a group or a group of friends who want to hear, and then I'll come and do a talk at their place. That's the idea. So it's not
Right. On the whole, I think you did a very good job. As usual, very animated. We love that.
Yeah.
Nobody fell asleep, right? Nobody fell asleep? Anybody fell asleep?
No.
Well done.